please tell me why he then decides to turn around to me when I'm saying that, oh, I'm going, as a ploy to try and stop me from going home. He's like, oh, just let me eat you out, I'll pay you £500. A whole me, like you're looking at me, I look that desperate for money, like a whole me. Guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So if you are weird and you have accepted that you're weird, feel free to stay, and by stay I mean make sure that you subscribe, and make sure you also have turned on the post notifications on, so that you get a notification for when I upload a video. Anyways, so like you've already guessed by the title, I nearly became a video vixen. Like, this topic low-key makes me a little bit angry at myself. Are you dumb, stupid? Number one, not the concept of me being, well, okay, so like, video vixen is like different definitions, right? So some people might look at video vixen as in like you're in a video, someone singing and you're shaking your bum. I wasn't gonna be doing that. There was the storyline, so mine was more like classy. Anyway, so listen, so where do we begin? Basically, I was on holiday last year in Jamaica, basically, and then I got okay, let's give the person a pseudonym. We'll call the person Malibu because I found Malibu disgusting. Yeah, okay, cool, right. So Malibu got in contact with me through basically Instagram. He slid in my DMs and he was like, oh, basically I'm just gonna put an insert of what he sent me here, and this is basically what he messaged me, and it was like, oh, would you be interested in blah blah blah. So me at the time, I was like, oh, okay, cool, that's fine. Like I haven't had any opportunities that like that before, so I was like, okay, cool, why not, for something that's like first time, one off, maybe, or maybe might end up, like, I was like, okay, fine, let me hear him out first off. I was like, okay, let me hear him out, let me find out like what the actual concept of the whole video will be, basically. And then he sent me like links to all his other like whatever videos and whatnot, and I was like, okay, fine, whatever, cool. I didn't really like watch any of them. I was just like like, I don't really care, like I don't care for your music, I've never heard of you before, so I don't really care for your music. This was literally like, what, I think it was a week before I was coming back from Jamaica. That's when he like sent me the message and everything and whatever. And then I was like, okay, fine. So I sent the, like, I did like a quick background check and stuff to just make sure like it's not someone like catfishing me and all that stuff and blah blah whatever. And I was like, because I watched too much catfish. I was like, okay, fine. So I then went on to sending my phone number. Are you dumb, stupid? Sending my phone number, and then he basically sent me a breakdown of what the actual video concept would be, which I have an insert of it right here. The concept of the video was going to be the woman, me, gets proposed to basically, and then I end up having obviously a girls' night, thinking girls' shopping trip, and then there's a wedding, then there's engagement. It was basically just a casual thing. Engagement party, a girls' trip before the wedding, and that's basically it, right? Simple, sounds simple enough. Cool, whatever. So it comes to me coming back from Jamaica. I come back from Jamaica, and then he's like, okay, when can you actually come in for a meeting and fitting and everything and all that? Are you dumb, stupid? Just put on another point here for my stupidity again, because now listen. So I was like, okay, cool, we're gonna go this day, blah blah blah. Me being me, so he gave me a list of the things that he thought that I could bring. So I did, right? Cool. I went there. So in my head, me being me, in my head, obviously I told mum that I was going. I had told, I think at that time I'd only told mum. I'm not so 100% sure, but I think I'd only told mum. And then I went there, and me being me, going there, I thought that I was meeting the whole team. So I thought I was meeting basically him, the manager, and potentially some of the people, like the director, that's going to be the director or producer for the video. Basically, that's what I thought, and the designer and the makeup people on in my head, okay? This was my first time, okay? That's already put a point for stupidity up here, okay? We already have 3. So got there, address, right, I should have just done like Google search to just like zoom in to see like where the address is leading. So me being me, I was like, okay, it's UK, so like some places like the postcodes and stuff, some office spaces are like within residential, so I was like, okay, fine. Tell me why when I'm turning, right, I realize that I'm turning in residential area and I'm actually going to somebody's house. Wait, why am I going to somebody's house? Like, please tell me why. I'm coming to a meeting, right? Like, professional meeting. This person sees themselves as a professional. I'm going to a professional meeting. Why am I coming to somebody's house for a meeting? Like, first time meet. Dress. Listen. Okay, cool. That will explain that point. Moving on from that, I get there. And then I park my car. And then now, in my head, I'm like, okay, maybe like the rest of the team is in there. I was like, okay, maybe like his manager's here and whatever, and the rest of the other people are here. Listen, before I even get any further past this, right? If you ever get someone to tell you that you're going for a dress fitting or whatever, this and the other, right? Don't go on your own. It's that simple. Don't go on your own. It's that simple. Okay, that's why we put a point for stupidity for me up here. Now we're at 4. So I get there and then we discussed the whole concept of the video, blah, 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 and it's like, okay, fine. He explains the whole thing to me again, and then he's like, okay, so we have a rehearsal scene, which is basically when he proposes, so I won't give the detail of the rehearsal of the scene, because, like, if the video comes out, then you kind of get who the person is, if that makes sense. Like, I doubt, like, any of you even, like, know who the person is anyway, but, like, if it's somewhere somehow, some people manage to connect 2 and 2, but anyway. So like we've done the rehearsal, and then within the rehearsal, so there's a part where like he proposes. After he proposes, it goes to him, like me kissing him, whatever. Oh my god, he can't even kiss to make it worse. Like I had to teach the person how to kiss. Like please explain to me why people like jamming and ramming their tongues inside people's mouths. Like I just met you, like why? Anyways, we done the rehearsal, fine, cool. And then he's like, okay, so he was like, okay, yeah, you like, you got the concept of the whole scene, like, quite quickly, blah, blah. I'm like, of course, natural here. I went to performing arts school. And then he's like, alright, so we've done the rehearsal for, like, the actual main part that is, like, the acting scene. And then he's like, okay, so now let's do the actual dress fitting, the first one. So I had to like try and like not say certain things, because like there's like tiny small bits I can say that can easily, like, people can pick up and then they can connect to who this person is anyway. So I'm not trying to be sued for like character defamation here, but then like person's trash anyway. So alright, and then basically, yeah, done the dress fitting. That was that for the, oh my god, the story is just so dumb. Like, I was dumb. I admit to myself, I was dumb, okay? Because, see, me being me, right? I was like, it's classy type of video vixen. It's not me shaking my bum. So I was like, who would want a wife beat? But anyway, so... Listen, let me land. Please tell me why it went from dress fitting to I didn't go from dress fitting to fucking Malibu, right? Basically, he's now like, oh, I think this would look better if you have baby oil on you. Do I look like I'm stupid? Do I look like I was born yesterday? Me, do I look like I'm stupid? Are you... I can't deal with myself. I actually cannot. I cannot. I was like, excuse you what? He's like, oh, yeah, I'm just trying to see like how it would look, because I feel like obviously like this scene, like because of what you're wearing, like the legs just look better with baby oil. And I'm just like, why did my dumbass bring myself here on my own? Like, why did I come here on my own?
reason?
I had a reason.
What was the reason?
I had a reason.
What was the reason?
I just explained the reason.
What was the reason, bitch?
I don't need to explain myself to you. And
What was the reason?
I was like, okay, so that's the end of the meeting, right? It's like, yeah, great, whatever, blah, blah. And then he was like, okay, so about the payment, blah, blah. He discussed the payment fees, all this and that. And it's like, okay, cool, fine. So I was under the impression that this was going to be a one-day video shoot, right? Clearly, dummy over here, because I don't know how video shoots work. I'm sure some video shoots can work in one day. But anyway, me as a dummy over here. Okay, cool. So this was like, what? September. That was like the first meeting. And then he goes on to be like, oh, so before you leave today, since you're already here, we might as well go central. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, oh, we might as well go to London so that you can meet my manager. And I was like, okay, fine, cool. So we go to this thingy restaurant where they like basically serve like Nigerian food. Who's Nigerian? Anyways, and then like he bought me food, and then he was like, oh, if you want any drink, and I'm like, no, I'm dragging myself home, I'm going home today. Like I specifically said from when I got there, like I'm going home today. I'm going home. Like my mother, my Zimbabwean mother, my Zimbabwean short mother, okay, short people temper. She's expecting me home today. I was like, so I'm going home today, so I'm not drinking. It's like, okay, fine, I can buy you the drink and you can take it home with you. I was like, fine. I didn't take it home with me. Like, I didn't take it home with me. I was like, no, because, wait. So, yeah, so I ended up having my food, and then he was like, oh, my manager is running a bit behind because there's a few meetings that he has to go to. And he was like, himself, Malibu, right? He's like, he has to go for radio whatever interview, blah, 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 that evening. So he was like, I'm meeting my manager for the radio interview. So after we come back from there, then we'll come back and we'll meet you and we'll discuss everything, like contract, blah, blah. I was like, okay, fine, cool. So he's like, would you rather stay down here, or would you prefer if I got you a room and you can go into a room and you can basically rest, you can do whatever you want in there, you're the only one that's going to have the key, the reception desk won't give me a key or anything like that, like that's it. And I was like, stupidity point up here, okay, I know, shut up, I know. Anyway, so I'm so dumb. I'm so dumb. Anyways, so yeah, got me a hotel room, and I was like, okay, fine. I had my laptop, so I was doing some editing and everything, and I was like, yeah, it is what it is. So he went to his like interview and all that. He comes back from the interview, he gets annoyed about the fact that like he bought me food and that I didn't finish it. I'm like, excuse me, do I look like I'm an American? Like these people are serving American sized portions. Do I look like like, oh yeah, relax, like seriously. He gets upset and he's like, oh, you bought, like I bought you all this food, you're wasting the food, so he decided to eat it. And I'm like, whatever, I don't care, like it's your money, do whatever the fuck you want with it, I don't care. And then I'm like, so where's your manager? Manager where? He's like, oh, my manager is still like, he's not like we're just gonna have to wait for him a little bit longer. At this time, right, my meeting, when I met up with him, like at his place, right, this was at 1 in the afternoon. This is now 7 in the evening, right? I'm waiting for his manager, nothing. 8 o'clock, nothing. I'm like, okay, listen, I'm going home because this is absolute rubbish, number one, because your manager ain't coming and you're basically just lying to me. And it's like, no, like, I'm not lying to you, he's seriously gonna come, you're gonna meet him, blah, blah. He then tries to start doing those rubbish about like, oh, there's a club just over there, did you bring any other clothes that you could wear? It's like, oh, you know that black dress that you were trying on before, you can wear that in the heels. I'm like, wait, what is this? Like, I was like, excuse you? Like, excuse me? And then he's like, oh no, I was just saying that like there's a club there so we can go there. I'm like I said before, I am going home today. I am not going to no clubbing. I am not doing any of that. I don't like clubbing. I don't like people, okay? And then that died down for a bit and I was like, okay, I'm gonna give your manager, right, another hour. If he doesn't show up, I'm going home. I'm like, cool, fine. Because I was like, obviously, I was like, he seems legit. Like I've seen of like after that when he went to his interview and stuff, I like looked him up more and I started like looking up the videos and all the stuff and like, okay, so it's not just like a fake thing and stuff like that, blah blah. And then I actually like heard the streaming of the interview and I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then please tell me why he then decides to turn around to me when I'm saying that, oh, I'm going, as a ploy to try and stop me from going home. He's like, oh, just let me eat you out, I'll pay you £500. A whole me, like you're looking at me, I look that desperate for money, like a whole me, a whole me, like I said, I called the Malibu for a reason, because Malibu is disgusting. Like he's actually, like he's, oh my god, like listen, I don't understand why, me being me, I didn't just, like after leaving that time, I don't know why I just decided to just like cut ends off on the whole thing, just be like, you know what, fuck this. I didn't. Like I said, stupidity point rate number 6 now. Anyway, I left her, got home, right? Obviously had to shower because I was like ill, and I had to brush my teeth because I was like, anyway, got home, and then the next day I explained to mom obviously like the concept of the video, blah blah, because it was like I had received the text, so I showed her, and then she's like, oh, how did the fitting go and everything. Mom doesn't know the detail of the story, she's just finding out about this right now, by the way, so hi mom. Anyway, so fast forward from then to early October. He sends me a message like, oh, I have this award show that I'm going to, would you mind coming with me there? And I'm like, no, I'm good. Like I already told you before, don't ask me for anything in offer to pay me for it. I'm not a fucking escort, okay? Like I get there are people that do that, but I'm not an escort, and I'm not trying to be, you know, like whatever arrangement type of issue that you're trying to get me to be in. He then messages me again for a dress fitting. Meant to be meeting up with the the designer, basically, because apparently the dress was being designed in Italy and blah blah blah, and like he had got my measurements, because he kept asking, well, he didn't actually do my measurements, but he kept asking for my dress size, like, oh, we're gonna make it tailored to like your size and blah blah blah, it's being handmade, blah blah blah. Like, okay, fine, whatever. I go there, right, and I'm like, okay, cool, this time I actually get to meet his manager, right? And then as soon as I walk in, I was like, okay, to his manager, like, okay, can I have your phone number? And he was like, why? I'm like, I would like to have your phone number so that I have to deal with you about anything that has to do with this video shoot. So if there's any issues, I'll come to you, because obviously you're representing him. And he was like, okay, fine. I got the manager's phone number. And then we're sat there, we're waiting for the thingy designer to come, because the manager was like, oh, I also need to see the dress in person, blah blah, and see how it fits, and if there's any adjustments that need to be made, we need to find out if like we can factor in the budget and all that stuff, blah blah. And I was like, okay, cool, fine, whatever. And then start breaking down about the actual video shoot, on like how long it's gonna be. And he's like, oh, the video is gonna be 2-day shoot, there's gonna be 1 day here, and then the other day will be these other scenes. And I was like, wait. Number one, you never told me that was a 2-day shoot. The money we negotiated before, right, that ain't gonna cut it. Like, you need to double that amount, because me, I agreed to that money because I was like, fine, that's okay, because it's a 1-day shoot and I have 0 experience. I was like, okay, fair enough then. But when he starts explaining the whole thing, and I just realized, I'm like, wait, I'm gonna be putting in a lot of work into this. Like, I'm gonna be putting a lot of work, and I realize how long I'm gonna be wearing heels for, and it's gonna be cold. Like, the actual areas that we're gonna be shooting the scenes and everything, it's gonna be cold, and I'm putting my health at risk here. I have a fucking weak immune system, right? So I was like, we need to revise the contract. I still had not got the contract at this time. Please tell me what. Stupid point number 7. I still not got the contract at this time. We're waiting for the designer. Waiting. Designer didn't show up. I got pissed. I was angry. I was like, you know what? You're taking the fucking piss. I could have been home doing work, but I'm over here waiting for you and your designer, who Lord knows if they even exist. And they're like, oh, they're moving shop, blah 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 blah, so that's why it's getting a bit difficult to get hold of them. I'm like, if it's someone you've paid that much money, they should not be that difficult to get hold of. Even if they're moving, I don't care. Like, he's like, okay, like around 7, I'm sure that like we'll get hold of her. It got to 7. This time I wasn't messing about. It got to 7. They didn't show up. I got my stuff and I left. And I was like, do not ring me and plan for another meeting again unless the people are there. Unless people have actually confirmed, say that they're going to show up, don't ring me again. I'm not meeting up with you ever again. It's like, oh no, I'll pay you for your fuel, blah, blah, blah. Don't pay me for my fuel. I'll pay you for your fuel and for the time that you took to come out here, blah, 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 blah. I was like, yeah, include this part of the contract, just include it in the payment, in the final payment. Okay, cool. Fast forward from then on, the date got set, apparently. And then I started now constantly being like, I need the contract. I need the contract. Where is the motherfucking contract? I'm like, I'm not sure. I was like, I need the contract. He was like, yeah, you get the contract soon. I'm like, I'm not showing up to anything, right? Because then they had set a date and everything. And it's like, oh, this is the first date we're shooting, and this is the second one. And then they start having issues with the venue. It's like, oh, the venue's overbooked, blah, blah, blah. Oh, we need to find another venue because this venue won't allow us to actually shoot there. And then I'm like, I need the contract. I'm not showing up. I don't care how much money or how much time you've put into this. I need the contract. Give me the contract. Where is the contract? Mom got tired of hearing me constantly complaining to and saying that these people still not giving me a contract. Mom was like, what are you still doing with them? There was no contract. And I was like, and then he was like, oh, so the shoot date is this day. You need to be here this time. I'm like, I'm not coming. And he's like, what? I'm like, I don't have a contract. As far as I'm concerned, right, there's no contract. I am not required or obligated to do anything. There's no contract. I'm not doing anything. And then I then told us the whole thing to, well, not in this much detail, gave a brief outline to my boyfriend, and then my boyfriend was like, do you have a contract? Oh, it was like, send me the actual brief of the actual video and what it's gonna be, blah, blah, blah. And I sent it to him. Well, that was a bit awkward. And then he was like, do you have a contract? Because he's a lawyer, among other things. He's like, do you have a contract? I was like, no. He's like, okay, so basically you're not booked to do anything. And I was like, I know. And he's like, okay, so we don't really need to discuss anything to do with this, because as far as I'm concerned, you are not booked to do anything until there's a contract. And it's like, yeah, I get it, I know. Fast forward from then on, I had a family personal issue. I created a GoFundMe. The GoFundMe is still there. Like, the link is down below as well. If you want to donate any money, cool. Anyways, donate or share it. I'll appreciate that. Anyways, I had that family personal issue happen, and then so I sent the link basically to everyone in my contact list, right? So that included him because he was in my contact list. He decides to then reply to me saying, oh, do you not think that, I wish I had screenshot this, but I was so angry when this happened that I literally just deleted and blocked this number. Like, I just, like, and yeah, he was like, oh, do you not think that those kids look rich? Do you think that those kids really still need money? I'm like, don't stop me. Like, you're talking about my nephews here. Like, you are talking about my nephews that are in hospital fighting for their lives, and you're like, listen, I was angry. I was like, that was the final straw. I literally was like, I do not appreciate you saying that. I do not wish to work with you if that is the kind of mindset that you have. I should have said that I didn't want to work with them since day one, to be fair, but never mind. And then I basically just deleted and blocked them. And then he called me, like direct called me instead of WhatsApp called. And then he's like, oh, I'm so sorry, like, why are you being so, like, uptight about this? Like, it was a joke. I was gonna donate £50. How much more money do you want me to add to the donation? Like, really? Like, seriously? You think that I care? Like, this? Anyways, long story short, just to round this all up, I literally went off at him and I was like, that's it, I don't care. And literally the day of the shoot was 2 weeks away. Was it 2 weeks? I think it was about 2 weeks, about a week, probably less than 2 weeks away. The day of the shoot was set. Like, they were just left with just sending me the contract. By him doing that, that was the final straw, and I was like off it with the whole thing. And that was it. So now they have no video girl. I don't know how much money that they lost. I don't care. I I don't care. I know how much money they lost with like having to reschedule for another venue. I don't know how long it took him to find another person to do his video. I don't care. I don't even care how his video actually turns out, to be fair, because you know what? You're fucking trash. You're trash. Pure representation of the Nigerian men are trash. It is you. Yeah. That is pretty much an episode of me being stupid. Anyways, yeah, that's pretty much what I had for this video. And make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Like, leave any of your thoughts, leave any of your questions about things that you think I was very dumb about and things that I ignored that I shouldn't have, or if you had any similar experience before. I'll see you on Wednesday. My schedule for upload is now going to be Sunday and Wednesday, so I will see you on Wednesday. Bye.